Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lily and this is Mark in our conservation department.
Hi.
We are with San Antonio Water System and we are here to talk to you today about toxic plants and pets and how to keep your pets safe and what to do if something does happen that has you concerned. Mark is the expert, so I'm going to let him do all the talking. Before I step out of the frame, I want to remind you that we'd really appreciate it if you would swipe and share. Also comments, questions. If you're watching from your mobile device, then you're able to comment and give us questions. And also, in hearts, that's right. We love the hearts, and we are reading your comments just as Mark is speaking. I'm usually behind the camera with Danny, and we're trying to direct your questions to Mark. So please, keep sharing, keep asking questions. Also, before I go, you notice Mark and I are wearing our medals, and Mark's medal is, there we go, now you can see it.
Right.
These are our SAWS Fiesta medals. In San Antonio, we have almost a week and a half of Fiesta. One big party the city throws. It's mostly for fundraising and nonprofits, but it's a great time, and these medals are part of that tradition. So for you who are not from San Antonio, bear with us. For those of you who are, lovely medals, and rumor has it that Danny and I might be out somewhere later today giving away a couple of these free Fiesta medals. So enjoy, ask questions, and I'll let Mark take over.
All right, welcome everyone. Another event here on Periscope. Every Thursday at 10:30, we're going to be here doing a Periscope. We're going to be talking about all different things SAWS. Conservation Department, which I belong to, we've been talking a lot about plants and things and water saving. So today we're going to talk about toxic plants and pets. Now, a couple things first. Toxicity does not mean death, but it may mean throwing up or wooziness for your pet, not yourself, for your pet. We're going to be talking about just about pets here today. But many years in my life, for a long time, I've never heard about any pet being actually dead. But recently I had a friend whose pet died from eating seeds of a plant, which we're going to show you in a little bit. So we talked to a lot of veterinarians, and yes, that is the case. We have had cases where pets have died. So we just want to bring that to everyone's attention and talk about some of the plants that you may want to not use in your landscape, or just have a little idea about, keep them away from the plant. So the plant I just talked about, that a dog ate the fruit and then died, is actually right behind me. So Danny's going to use the camera, and we're going to go back here. This is a sago palm. You see this right here. You see the big red fruit. Now, the cool thing about a sago palm is that it comes in male and female. So this is the female and has all those lovely red fruit. And I don't know if you can see the male right behind me. Can you see? This is the male and the male fruiting structure on that. Can you see that little cone right there? There. All right, so sago palm, it's a wonderful plant. We love to plant this plant, but you just got to be aware about the fact that those seeds are toxic and can be fatal to pets. So what you can do about it? Well, one, if you have a larger one, you can figure out if you have a male, or simply take those seeds off when you see them starting to develop and remove those. I also have some more plants, Danny, if you want to put it right on there. These are some of the plants we recommend. But first of all, these are the seeds that I took off this morning. I don't know if you can see them like this. Come a little closer. There we go. So if you simply remove all these and dispose of them, then you prevent that possibility of a pet eating them, ingesting them. All right.
Mark?
Yes?
Before you get going, we had a question about indoor plants and cats. There's lots of people who want to have plants indoors but have cats and are concerned about that.
And most of the plants that I know of are not. If somebody wants to know exactly what plants, we have a couple of options for you to look at and call. If you get the Poison Control Center phone on that. Also, I want to recommend the ASPCA They have a large list, and that will give you an idea of what indoor plants are actually toxic. Okay, and so this is a great resource. If you can see this is the poison control phone number. They are manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can call them up and ask about a plant because they'll have the computer right there, or ask if your pet is suffering some symptoms that you may not know of, and it may be a plant that you can call them and ask for advice and what to do. Thanks. All right, so that's a great question. Another common plant that we have in this area, please forgive me on this, is, a lot of people know this, Texas mountain laurel. The one with the purple flowers in the springtime, delicious smelling plant. If anybody's never seen the inside of these, they have a little red seed. And if you lived in San Antonio a long time, you know that you can scratch these seeds and get them really hot and burn, little girls. If you're in school, you can do that, or boys, all that kind of stuff. Not that I would recommend that, nor would we ever recommend that. However, the seeds themselves are toxic. What they would do is they would cause severe vomiting, wooziness, and if it's a small dog or cat and if they ingest that, it could lead to fatalities. So you want to make sure. Now in this, most of the time it's going to be in the seed itself, in the seed pod. And so if you can collect these in the fall when they start to split open, then that would be one way to prevent that. So the tree itself is not the problem. It's the seeds, and you can take care of that by removing all the seeds. Oh, here we have another one of our favorites. This is Lantana. This happens to be new Gold Lantana, which is the ones that we recommend because this is not an invasive pest. Some of the other lantanas are becoming a pest in our native areas around San Antonio. But lantana leaves, if they are ingested, and sometimes the seeds. Now this is one we do recommend because it never seeds. It only produces flowers. It's sterile. So the seeds and the leaves can be toxic. Again, does not mean does not mean fatal. It does mean sick on that. So this is a plant that if you don't want to use salvia, we have a whole host of recommendations that are available on our website, which deal with plants. It's www.gardenstylesa.com. So you look on that and you can see replacements for this. I happen to like salvias. Salvias. Sorry, folks. Salvias.
Mark,
Yeah.
we had a comment about one of their chickens possibly having died after eating lantana. Is that?
It probably would, for chickens, it probably would have been the seed. And again, if you're going to use a lantana, you'd want a seedless one, a sterile one, and we recommend the new Gold Lantana on that. So that's a good question because urban agriculture is becoming wide in San Antonio, very popular. So I should have said widely popular in San Antonio. So that's a good question, but yeah, it probably would have been the seeds. Nandina or heavenly bamboo. The seeds, again, are poisonous. And now we didn't have one because of this time of year, but you can see these little flowers were turned into seeds. My producer is keeping me a little closer. Okay. So these bright red seeds, and these are toxic. So Nandina is one we do not recommend. Again, it's becoming a non-native invasive pest in our native areas, in our parks. So we don't want to recommend that. So that's a good one. Hey, this one, not so much. Don't plant this one. Just get rid of it. This is a Japanese yew, very popular thing. Now the leaves can be, it's very popular. You can use that in a wide variety of. It's a large shrub. So this is one which will cause a little problems, nausea, possible kidney problems. Another one. Here we go. Now this happens to be a Nandina. I'm sorry, a Yaupon Holly. Now, it has the berries on it. Again, like all hollies, the berries are toxic. So you want to get one which doesn't have the berries. When you're saying, oh, Mark, what? Again, this is a male and female plant, so you want to get the males. What some of my staff and I talked about is if you want one of these hollies, there is a dwarf version, a dwarf Yaupon Holly, which we have never, ever seen a berry on it. So that's a possibility. This is a standard one, which gets into a big shrub or small tree. But what we're recommending is a dwarf Yaupon version. So no berries if you're worried about that.
Question.
Yeah.
How do you know if you're buying a male or female?
That in the store it's very, very hard when they're young, because they have to develop the time when they actually develop the fruit. Some nurseries and some producers actually are using cultivars. So they have a male version of the plant, and they're just making cuttings and then selling those. So that way they know exactly that's going to be a male. So that's one way of doing it. Not all producers do that, but that is one way of doing it. So to make sure that you do have a male. Reintroduce myself. Again, for those coming in just now, my name is Mark Peterson. I'm project coordinator with the SAWS, San Antonio Water System Conservation Department, and I deal with all things water conservation and plants. So we're talking about toxic plants and pets, and what some of the most common ones in our area, and also what you can do to prevent that. The plant I didn't have, which is the most toxic, not only to pets, but to humans as well, is the castor bean. And they actually, many parts of it are toxic, but especially the fruit, which you can make into a significant poison called ricin. And some people know that name, that ricin is a very severe poison, thought to be used maybe in some cases of terrorist attacks in Japan. But that's very, very poisonous. One little berry can kill you. So we don't recommend castor bean at all, although many people like it because it's a very decorative shrub. Very beautiful, multicolored leaves and all that. But we just say never. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. The danger is too high.
What about oleander?
Oh, oleander. Oleander, there's a lot of urban myths. They have to be completely honest on it. A lot of urban myths about how poisonous it is. However, the leaves and parts of the new stem are toxic. But it is extremely bitter tasting. If a pet actually ate some of it, they'd probably spit it out. But if they ingested some, they would get, again, nauseous, woozy, display really different characteristics, abnormal characteristics, and you'd want to find out if you have an oleander, or bring them into your local vet, or call again the hotline, the poison control hotline. Would you like to see the hotline again, folks? Yes. Why don't we bring the hotline, the poison control hotline up again? So people can always call the poison control hotline. You see the numbers right there, and below that is our website.
We have an article on that website.
Yeah, and
right?
thank you for my lovely segue, my lovely producer here. Yes, so why are we actually talking about this and doing a Periscope? Is actually we have our most recent newsletter, just came out, and the feature article was about toxic plants and pets. So please go to that. If you didn't receive your newsletter, and I don't know why you haven't done it yet, but you can go to this website, www.gardenstylesa.com, and sign up or read the article as it is right now. It will be archived, so you can go back and look at it at any time and read that article. So thank you on that. So again, the one last plant I have here. Oh, I know what I was going to do. So there's one plant I want to talk about, but I didn't have. But we're actually going to look at it as for this one right here. it slowly go around. And we're going to look at it just for show. This is called Agapanthus, or lily of the Nile. Now, this is not toxic, but its relatives in the lily and iris and gladiola, anything that has a bulb or a corm that your pet could eat up, dig up and eat, that would be toxic. So make sure then that that they're not digging around, picking up those bulbs, or when they're freshly planted in the fall or late winter, that you make sure that they're not in there digging around, picking those up and eating those. So the bulbs of tulips, lilies, gladiolas, daffodils, you don't eat those or have the pet eat those on that. So that's it. That's been our lovely Periscope. I hope you enjoyed it and had a little knowledge about plants. For any plant alternative to the ones we talked about, I mentioned it briefly when I'm talking about lantanas. I like salvias as a placement. But we have a website. Again, it's www.gardenstylesa.com, right there. And you can find all the plant alternatives on our Find a Plant database. We also have the articles that we've talked about, and we have a whole host of articles. Anything you want to know about landscaping and water conservation.
So thank you for joining us, guys. Thursdays at 10:30.
Bye.